Welcome to Building Your Income Pipeline. We are at another segment. This is all about showcasing how you can get into the gig economy, side hustle, having multiple streams of income. We're talking about drop shipping in this particular segment, and we have my good friend over there, Murphy Pascal. Hey, Murph, how are you?
All right. How are you?
Man, life is good, improving and progressive. So
All right.
let's do this. I see you got your shirt on, so let people know who
Always.
you are and what you do, man.
Okay. My name is Murphy Pascal, and I created a streetwear clothing brand that more or less brings attention to the collective spending power of African Americans in the United States annually.
Okay. And right now, how do you get the word out about your brand Black Paper?
Okay. So social media is my best friend. So of course I have a business. I have a personal page on Facebook, but also a business page. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, just about every social media platform I can use, and it's been pretty effective.
Okay, okay. So talk to the individuals who are tuned in right now about how you get your idea of black paper to a consumer. How do you go from your idea to a somebody buying your product?
Okay, so first of all, if you're not a creative person, you can always hire other people to help you create your brand. Surround yourself with other creative people. But normally, when you're trying to do a business like this, most of the time you are going to a screen printer. And on a screen printer, it's almost like a template of your particular design, and they use kind of like a squeegee to adhere ink onto a T-shirt like this.
Mhm.
The only thing about that can get pretty costly, especially based on the amount of colors that you would have in your design. And then because each color is a separate screen,
Mhm.
and every time you put a different color, you got to touch that shirt. So that screen charge you based on how many times he has to touch the shirt. So to make it a little simpler, if you just did a one color shirt with a one color design, like say for instance, if this was white, all white, that would be your cheapest. The only thing about screen printing, there are normally minimums, especially with the larger screen printing companies. You have to order in bulk, and sometimes you may not have the funds to order in bulk. So that's where drop shipping comes in. After scrambling around trying to get my idea out, I ran across an article about drop shipping. So basically what drop shipping is, there are companies that will produce your garments for you
Mm.
and ship to your customers, but they print on demand. And what I mean by that, they will print based on what your customer is asking for. So if your customer orders one shirt, they will print one shirt because they do direct to garment printing. Direct to garment printing would be just like a inkjet printer putting an image on a particular T-shirt. So whatever image you send in, so like say for instance like this, it's multicolored. It will act as like an inkjet printer and put all colors all down at one time.
Mm.
Remember, going back to screen printing, for each color, I got to hit it that many times based
Wow.
on how many colors.
Okay.
But with direct-to-garment printing, they will do a one print. Basically, whatever you send in, this is the image that will go on a shirt. So it's a little costly based on one item, but the way it is that you never have to come up with a bulk load of money per se to order in bulk.
Right.
When your customer goes to your website, they will place an order. That information goes over to your drop shipping manufacturer. I actually use printful.com, printful.com. and that information goes over. They receive the information, they print the garment out, and then ship to the customer. All you're doing as the store owner, you're putting your retail price on it. So for instance, if Printful charged me $10 for one shirt, I would probably charge my customer $20. I get a $10 profit, which goes directly to the bank account or checking account that you set up with this particular entity. So it's a cost-effective way to get your idea out to market. The other thing that's good about these drop shipping companies, they will allow you to create mock-ups, like digital mock-ups.
Okay.
Which is basically like a picture of what your image or your shirt, your finished shirt is going to look like. You take that image and you put up on your website as indicator to your customers. This is the type of shirt that you're going to get. You get an explanation of the kind of shirt, like I only use 100% cotton T-shirts because they hold the inks better and they last. The ink, the design lasts, through a lot of different washings. So, with that being said, it's a cost-effective way where you're not coming out with a lot of overhead. Right. You're basically driving traffic to your website. That's your job, to drive traffic to your website. You get people to purchase. They purchase. The manufacturer will ship to your customer, so you don't have to worry about shipping labels and boxes and all that kind of stuff. The other good thing about these type of companies, they will put your label on the shipping box. It's nothing on your box that will say Printful. Like for mine, it says black paper. That's it. So it looks like it's coming directly from me. It may use the address of that company, but it looks like it's coming directly from me. Gets shipped to your customer, and then the retail price or the difference, the profit, goes directly to your bank account. So that's basically you're more or less keeping up with that. You can have it set up where everything happens automatically, or you could do each individual order manually. I choose manually so I can stay on top of what's going on in reference to my business. Now, one other thing I want to also add, doing it the old way with screen printing. If I'll just give you an example, if their minimum is $200, they may end up charging you per one unit, let's say $5. So the cost of your one unit goes down, which means now if they're charging me $5 for a completed shirt, and I put my $15 markup, or I'm still selling it at $20, I'm making $15 now. The only thing is, I gotta warehouse that.
That's about
I have to warehouse that 200 shirts, and I have to ship it to my customers. So of course that's going to take away from a profit margin. But drop shipping is a way to get you going. Eventually, once your business increases, you may go the old way because you want more of a larger profit margin. But this is a way to get started, get your idea out here. And the other thing is, when you do it the old way, because this really gets intricate. When you do it the old way, you don't know how many shirts in reference to size and color and design that you need to buy. So if I buy a 200 run, I do a 200 run, and I go heavy on extra large and maybe heavy on 2 extra large, and then, I get a little bit of small, I get a little bit of mediums or something like that. I go out and do a festival. Wow, at that festival, everyone wants medium. But I purchase more extra large and 2XLs thinking that's what everyone wants. Well, with the drop shipping, you get to know exactly what is going to sell. Your customer lets you know what they want. And then you get a graph and you get, information to say, hey, people are ordering more 2XL, or people are ordering more large. So that saves you a lot of money, because plenty of people that have done this have items sitting in their basement that never sold. And that's money. When you look at those shirts,
That's
That's
it.
money.
It was money.
It's
Yes. Yeah.
money. It's gone.
Yeah.
So this is a way, even if you're going to eventually go to the screen print way because you want to cut, down your unit price. But this is a way to gain that information and know what do my customers want. What designs do they like? I might like a design and I'm thinking, man, this is hot. But my customers don't even, they like something else. So, okay. Then I don't need to order. If I was ordering, I wouldn't order that many of that particular design. So it's a good way to get you going and get you started.
All right, so that's a good point. So you already answered my other question: why drop shipping? It's really cost effective.
Oh, okay.
And you can really begin to test the products, test the images that you have with your customers, and then, oh man, you made a good point when it came down to, if you're going to go to an event and you order in all of these larges, but everybody there is small,
Right.
you begin to test that out. I love that idea. I love
Right.
Yeah, I love the idea. So step by step, what I heard you say, and you could correct me. So first, if you're not that creative person, you need to hire a creative person so that you can put the images on the t-shirts or the caps or whatever you're doing. They need to set up an account with a manufacturer. Like,
Yes.
okay,
All right. Okay. So there are a lot of different manufacturers out here. Of course, there's manufacturers that will do just about anything today, or drop shipping manufacturers, that is. They'll do gift baskets, all kinds of stuff. But of course, I chose something to do clothing. So I chose Printful based on the feedback that, if you're going to pick one, it's best to Google that particular company and look at the reviews on that company, because all of them, they're not perfect. Like, Printful, I will admit there's times that, like, my image was a little crooked, but I had to, I called into them. They, replaced it, sent me a new item right back.
Yeah.
So they're good with that, correcting problems. The only thing about that is, what if that particular shirt went to my customer? I don't know. I wouldn't know that my customer got a crooked, image unless my customer told me. So you work out those little kinks here and there, but for the most part, you end up saving, a lot of money that way. What was the original point? I'm sorry.
Just go. Basically, just coming up with step by step. So as people are listening, they're looking for side hustles. You talked about getting a creative person if they're not creative. Finding a manufacturer. Finding a storefront, an online storefront, setting up a checking account, and then just driving traffic to that storefront or to the website wherever it is. So I mean, are there other steps that I missed?
The one thing I left out is I use Shopify.com to host my website. Shopify is a e-commerce hosting platform. So they have Shopify, man, it's a wonderful idea. They have everything you need. They have templates where you can create your own website. I remember talking to a young lady who was doing gift baskets. And she was saying, I'm hiring these guys. They're going to, do my website. And they want to charge $5,000. And I was like, that's not the way to go. To get you started, you can create your own website. Yeah. Just go on Shopify. They have different templates. They have free templates and paid templates. You make something, man. You do little tweaks here and there. And, you have a web presence. Yeah. After you've done, then you upload your pictures onto it. And then, of course, like I said, it's set up in an e-commerce platform, so it has the checkout already established. They accept major credit cards, so you don't have to go out and have somebody recreate all of that and charge you a lot of money, because people are charging a lot of money to create a website today. So let's not get it, twisted. Yes. But with Shopify.com, you pay a hosting fee, which is the cheapest is $29 a month, okay? And you'll have a complete e-commerce website up and running. You fix it the way you want. You upload the pictures the way you want and everything like that. Then once you have the Shopify website, you download the Printful app, and then you merge it to your Shopify website. So they have a way, and there's videos on YouTube on how to do this. If I'm losing you or something like that, or you don't get enough information off of this, you can go to YouTube, type in Shopify versus Printful, and they will show you step by step what to do. But the two entities will merge. So when someone goes onto my website, blackpaperstore.com, and places an order, immediately that information goes over to Printful. Printful takes that information, creates the garment, and ships to my customer. So the other thing in reference to being creative. All right. So let's say, like me, I'm an idea guy, really. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, but I vividly see images and ideas, and sometimes I play around with trying to get that image onto paper or what have you, and then eventually electronic. But there's another app called Fiverr.com. Right, Fiverr. It's Fiverr. So it's two R's at the end. .com, I believe. But you can do that app. They have a host of freelance artists on that website. I've used them at least 20 different times. And usually it starts off like $5. So say, for instance, if I went on there for this image, I would say, hey, I'm trying to do a black paper image. I want a circle under it with a dollar sign and some colors. And so whoever picks up my, that bid, or whoever I choose to do it, they will go ahead and do several images. I choose one, and then the money is submitted, and they get paid, and and then they'll send me a digital copy of my image. And then once I have that digital copy, I upload it on my Printful site, and it becomes one of my images for my T-shirts. So, you can, everything today, it's so much information out there. They're making this thing, to me, user-friendly to get your ideas, to the marketplace today.
Yeah, and it is. I love the idea that you mentioned Fiverr. And for those individuals that are not creative or are creative, there's another software platform that I use a lot called Canva.com. You can Canva. You can actually go on there and design logos, flyers, and things of that nature. And you can use that to do what Murphy is talking about as well. So these are some good points, Murphy. So how much does it cost to really get started in this type of business, this drop shipping business using T-shirts?
Okay, so honestly, it costs roughly $29 a month to host your website, and that's pretty much your only overhead, really, because when Printful makes a product for you, they're going to charge you their price, and your customer basically pays that price. So it's not coming out of my pocket, but it's carried over to my customer. Right. I'm just putting my retail portion on that price to get my profit. So basically, I'm running my business for $29 a month. Now, actually, what I would say to you, in reference to how you and I think, I'm running my business for free, meaning I need to sell at least $29 worth of product. That's right. So I'm not paying that fee. So I cannot tell you I pay $29 a month, because I shouldn't be in this type of business, if I can't sell at least 2 T-shirts to cover that $29 fee. You just had to think that way.
Right.
At least sell enough to cover, that hosting fee.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, someone, of course, when people write articles, they do this, how do I want to say, this generic title, run your business for free, or have a clothing business for free. And then you read more and get into the details. But basically, you could end up running this thing for no cost,
Yeah. And we have, as part of this building income pipeline, summit, we actually have some accountants, or an accountant rather, coming on to talk to us about, how do we now, I mean, if this is a side hustle for us, how do we now look at it from a tax perspective? How can this help us out when tax time is around? And the same thing for full time. If you're thinking about doing
Right.
full time, what are some of the benefits from a tax perspective? So that's good. So let's kind of walk individuals again, Murphy, through that process
Okay.
of creating. I mean, you can get started right now in doing drop shipping. I always say begin with a plan. Now, you don't necessarily need a full blown business plan, but I would look at a one page, and as part of uh, participating in this building income pipeline, we can provide you with a one page business plan. And that is, what problem are you solving? What's your solution? Your solution is, in your case, Murphy, is the T-shirt that has Black Power on it. So you want to. The problem is expose the lack of knowledge of how much African Americans spend in the marketplace, and you want to bring awareness to this. So you coming out with the T-shirt and the hats and the other garments that you may have. Who's your audience? I mean, it could be African Americans in the United States, or it could be anybody who believes in support. I'm just kind of saying this, Murphy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just kind of walking through
Yeah. You're
the process. So you want
right.
to who's going to buy your product? So if you decide to do a fair or an exhibit fair, and you go and your customers are not, you need to make sure that you have the right customers. They're going to be at
Correct.
there. How are you in the market? Murphy talked about he uses social media to drive traffic to his website. So for your particular business, how are you going to drive traffic to your website as well? And then who's going to manage? Who's managing your business? So right now, it's Murphy. I believe it's Murphy. He may have some other team members, but it's really Murphy, Printful, and Shopify, because all of those individuals working together are going to take his idea to the consumer. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as well. And then the financial piece, how you gonna get paid? So
Right.
if Printful is charging $30 for a T-shirt, you want to make sure that you have. That's where it goes back to those customers. You have customers that can afford to pay $40 for a T-shirt. I'm just using that as an example. So as you
Right. Right.
think about your finances, that's what you need to take into account. And I like the Fiverr piece. That's part of your expense. That's part of doing business. 'Cause you
Right.
pay some funding for that, and just kind of look at what are you going to do long term, or what I like to say, three months out. So each quarter, what are your expenses going to be? Because you're going to have some expenses as you're looking to build this business. But as Murphy indicated, this is perhaps a easy way to get involved in the side hustle. Or if you want to do this full time, this is a great opportunity to do that. Murphy, do you want to add anything else?
Um, I would say that in conjunction with doing it the drop shipping way, you probably still need to order, some screen printed items and do a couple of shows, you
Mm,
know. And even when you have your table set up at your show, you can have advertisement to direct them to your website. Because I was told years ago that really what a website is really for is for continued patronage. And what I mean by that is that if I was at a fair and I met somebody from New York and they purchased a shirt from me, that person would want to, if he liked the shirt that much, of course he wants to buy again. But I'm not going to be in New York anymore. I'm going back to Baltimore.
yeah.
So your website is a way for your customer to continue to buy your items.
Yeah.
Because, everyone talks about, well, you got to have a website, you got to have a website, you got to have a website. And I do understand that. But really, you can get out there and really do the festivals, or you can do HBCUs, and I'm just talking about in reference to an item like this.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of different clothing shows out there as well that you could do, and then try to get your product placed in stores. So that's another way. But with the drop shipping, it's e-commerce based, it's website based, and it's very user friendly, where you don't even really touch any product if you don't want to, and it's a way to get you going immediately. I mean, you could do it today. Actually, you could write your plan down first. Write your plan down. Make sure exactly what you want to do. Do your projections, your 3-month projections. Do your research, and then get going.
Right, right. All right. Well, I mean, I definitely appreciate that the comments and the good points that you mentioned there. And like you said, you can do that. So who is this side hustle, or who is this another stream of income really for? Who do you think this is for? What type of
I,
person?
you know, I really think it's for a person. Let's say, for instance, they may be working at a particular job, and I don't want to say a job they don't like, but something they have to do to provide for themselves and their family. But they've always had a passion for entrepreneurship, and they always felt as though they had a passion about fashion or style or something like that. Maybe they get compliments all the time on how they put things together. Well, this would be the perfect side hustle for someone like that. A creative person who's always coming up with ideas about something they want to say, because not a lot of funny enough, a lot of T-shirts are word based today.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. So, and it has a lot to do with the climate that we're currently living in. Things in reference to African Americans, positive things about African Americans are a good seller today with the current political climate that we live under. So, just to reiterate, someone, they might be working a full-time job, but they've always had an idea. I want to dive into this whole little fashion thing. Well, they can do this in their spare time. Take maybe set out maybe an hour or hour and a half a day just to dedicate to this side hustle.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Murphy, I definitely appreciate you. So, for those people who are participating, you'll have opportunity to get a copy of. I mean, it's just going to be a simple one-page business plan, just some thoughts that we just kind of went over, as well as the websites that we mentioned: Shopify, Printful, Fiverr, Canva, and anything else that we can add on there to really help people get started right now. Because side hustle, having multiple streams, you got multiple bills, right? You need multiple
Is that
side hustles, multiple
multiple
streams of
streams?
income, multiple streams of income.
Right.
So really appreciate you coming on, and we'll make.
Oh, and also, can I just add
Oh, please.
something?
Yes.
And speaking to the whole idea of being user friendly, you can have a Instagram business page and a Facebook business page where your customer can order directly on those platforms. Somebody can place an order, for black paper right on my black paper Instagram page, on my black paper Facebook page. So you don't even have to go to the website. You can order directly from those social media platforms.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. So we'll make sure, well, all of the speakers who are contributing to the Building Your Income Pipeline will have a directory with everybody's name, and everybody will get a copy, name and contact information, I should say, and everybody will get a copy of that. All right, Murphy, really appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
All right. So this is drop shipping. We are now going to move to our next workshop. Stay tuned.